We will begin this evening's program with our first storyteller, Lori Dolph. Lori is a Vietnam combat veteran, a journalist, an advertising madman, and a consultant to captains of industry. I've had the pleasure of working with him as we plan this event and appreciate his enthusiasm for this project. Please welcome our first fellow veteran to the stage, Lori Dolph.
Good evening. It's been a beautiful Veterans Day. It's still 54 degrees out there tonight. But I'm taken back to a night 46 years ago in the Mekong Delta, Vietnam. The night had been a very intense time. I had been for 6 weeks beyond the fortifications of the post, out in what other wars called no man's land. We called it night ambush patrol. There'd be 11 of us. We're out there, no cover, trying to interdict the 2 or 3 enemy who would run in with mortar tubes, lob fast rounds into our base camp. It was 3 miles long, a mile wide. They couldn't miss. They would always hit something. They'd move, do it again, move, do it again, and run away. And so we would try to interdict them. And every now and then, we'd run into 400 of them, the 11 of us. And, well, the people before me were wiped out. I was a replacement in that company. But now, the night I'm thinking of, I'm inside the security of the base camp, and I've got a real bed and a real pillow and a blanket, except that it's twice the temperature it is tonight. About 110 at 2 in the morning, heavy humidity, so no cover. Really, 44 men in what we called our hooch, it was our barracks. 44 men wearing essentially nothing, listening to the helicopters surrounding the perimeter, big spotlights coming on, machine guns firing out the door of the helicopters, the minigun firing 6,000 rounds a minute, all trying to stop these continuous mortar attacks. And then the heavy fire of artillery, big, loud, intermittent, trying to also interdict these attacks, not shooting where the night ambush patrols were, that was always marked, but just shooting otherwise. And you would lie there wide awake in your bunk, listening to all this, waiting for this fearful sound, which was the same frequency as the outgoing sound. And there would be silence, and then you'd suddenly hear, with no warning, "Woof!" And that was incoming. And we would shout, "Incoming, woof!" And we'd be up and running, "Incoming!" And we were sprinting down the stairs. We had a bunker right next to us, a bomb shelter, if you will. And so we would run there to take cover, and on the way we would grab our M16s and bandoliers of ammunition so that when we got there, and we were not exactly dressed for combat, but we had about 500, 600 rounds apiece in case they came over the berm that night, and we were ready to engage. Whomp! And now we're huddled in the dark together, 44 men. Whomp! And there's the smell of perfume and the sound of giggling. Whomp! Giggle, giggle. Whomp! Giggle, giggle. And this goes on for a while, and we hear that our barracks gets hit and starts to come apart. And then suddenly it all stops. It just all stops, and there's silence. And we wait a little bit, and we go out, and we find a tape recorder that someone had turned on, and it confirmed what we thought we had heard. Because as we wander out into the silence of that night, someone has left the transistor radio on, Armed Forces Network out of Saigon, a rock station, so there was a jock. And the giggling was of a USO dancer who had been caught crossing the base camp, getting caught in the attack, running for her life, finding shelter with us. So you heard all of that, and then you heard the transistor radio and the voice. "Ladies and gentlemen, the beat goes on."